It seems that the government is looking to introduce some more reforms for the space. So let's welcome on board Siraj Hussain, the former Agricultural Secretary and visiting Senior Fellow at ICRIER. And we've also got with us RG Agarwal, the Chairman at Dhanuka Agritech, joining in on the show right now. Gentlemen, morning. Good to have you both on the show. Mr. Hussain, if I could start the discussion with you, just the significance of the agrochemical sector and whether or not the reforms which are being considered can be strictly geared towards the agrochemical space, or do you think they encompass allied agri products such as fertilizer as well as seeds as well in the long haul? Is that how the model should actually be based?
First question to Mr. Siraj Hussain or to me?
Mr. Siraj Hussain, please.
Pardon?
Okay, so the agrochemical sector is quite important. Despite all this talk about moving to non-chemical agriculture, our farmers continue to depend on agrochemicals to tackle weeds, diseases, etc. However, I must say that the knowledge base of farmers needs to be continuously upgraded so that they use these chemicals, many of them extremely harmful, in the doses and in timings which are recommended by the manufacturing companies. Because we have seen in many areas of the country that the farmers use these chemicals rather indiscriminately, as a result of which the pesticide residues in several crops, especially fruits and vegetables, are higher than the recommended limits.
Sure, but will there be tax exemptions as well, Mr. Hussain, or any other monetary incentives as part of the initiative, you think?
I do not think monetary incentive is required here. What we need is communication in the local language. So I went to a tribal village in Jharkhand and I asked them, please bring the chemicals you use. And he brought some 20 chemicals and said that the only thing he knows is that this is red and this is green. So we need much more education through media so that the farmers know what is to be used and when.
Right. Okay, fair point. Also, Mr. Agarwal, I want to come to you as well for the discussion. What steps do you think can be taken to encourage registration of newer molecules? How can the laws at this juncture be amended according to you?
You see, the government has put new PMB on 23rd March in Parliament. And unfortunately, it is replacement of 1968. Instead of any improvement, it is rather the worst. And even whatever good things for last 50 years experience has not been taken while drafting this PMB 2020. The CIBA and RC, which is under Ministry of Agriculture, which is the registration body, as per Act, they are supposed to give 9(3) registration within 1 year. And maximum can be extended into by 6 months. But we are taking 5 years in registration. We have requested government so many times about total revamping the CIB and RC and give guidelines that new technology 9(3) products should be given on faster registration. We were having a meeting with President Secretary Sir, Mr. Sanjay Agarwal, and he has given now guidance. Yes, our farmers need new tools to fight the new pests and diseases which are coming, and you will be surprised and shocked that our agriculture area is more than China, rainfall is more than China, but our GDP is just 1/3 of China. The 3 reasons for that. Number 1, technology is not reaching to our farmers. If government get done audit their big infrastructure of universities, KVKs and other stations, how many farmers they are getting technology? Number 2, the quality of agri inputs. As per Ministry of Consumer Affairs, 58% agri inputs are fake. The survey was done through Indian Academy of Administrative Services. All these things are in the government of knowledge, but unfortunately in pesticide sector, no reforms has been taken at all. In pesticide sector, we are today still in ambassador's time. When ambassador is out of road and latest cars are available. But in pesticide, we have more than 6,000 companies in this country. Can Mr. Siraj Hussain, who has been ex-secretary agriculture, even this pan walas or mithai walas or kirana merchants, they are getting the registrations. There are guidelines in the Insecticide Act. There are guidelines in the CIB and RC, their own minutes. All of them are violated and no action against them. And if private industry, even a smallest violation, then they are prosecuted. Is it right philosophy of the government which is talking ease of doing business and less government, more governance? Sabka saath, sabka vishwas. Is it the implementation in pesticide sector? I'm sorry, we industry people are very much disturbed about this most important sector, which is the most important input in agriculture, which works as an insurance once farmer has invested his money on fertilizer, seeds, irrigation, labor. Then insects come for attack. And if that time new insecticides are not available, no pest has come which was never in our country. For example, fall armyworm. This has come in 2018 and we don't have proper pesticide to control it. You see the attack of locust. One side, we need new technology. Without registering new products, there is talking, ban this pesticide, ban that pesticide. I don't know who is behind, who is guiding the government, the policies. If product is used in Japan, US, Europe,
Right.
and they are taking ban in India,
If I may
which are
come
quite
in.
economical to our farmers, and our agriculture
Right.
will collapse.
Right. Mr. Agarwal, just to take that question forward in terms of what do you think would be the key features of the ecosystem that need to be created in order for the agrochemical sector to thrive?
You see, for agrochemicals, now the molecules has come which are used in few grams in place of the molecules which were used in kilos. So it is the government compares the kilogram consumption, but now it is to be compared area treated. In our country, per hectare consumption is 300 gram, while China is 13 kilogram. So we are using least pesticide of the world, one of the lowest in the world, and having better, and our farmers not only feeding but exporting also. So number one, this central insecticide board and RC should be restructured, should be chaired by one of the senior most scientists of integrity. Today, what is happening, anybody goes, he get the registration like Aadhaar card. Anybody goes to state government, he get manufacturing license in violation of all the safety rules. There are number of deaths in the factories because they have, of laborers, because they have happened as the guidelines provided, and this is the responsibility of the officers who are issuing license to visit each and every factory, verify that infrastructure as required is available or not. Government should make a task force and should get visited, reviewed all these 6,000 licenses, whosoever fulfill the required formalities as decided by government, they should be allowed to operate, and rest of the companies should be closed who are cheating the farmers, who are supplying 58% duplicate, bogus, fake, smuggled pesticides. Our government is suffering more than 1 lakh rupees crore revenue loss of such business, which was estimated by a survey in KPMG. All these things are there. So first of all, restructure the CIB and RC total registration system.
Point taken, Mr. Agarwal. Mr. Hussain, right. Point taken, Mr. Agarwal. Mr. Hussain, what people don't really know about the agrochemical industry is that for those who are manufacturing these active ingredients, it is rather polluting. So, the need of the hour is more effluent treatment plants, the central effluent plants as well. So, how do you think we can scale this, when there's still a lot more that needs to be done on this front?
I think as far as the industry is concerned, I am presuming that they would be taking all these steps required in accordance with the guidelines of the Central Pollution Control Board. So I'm not talking about that. What I'm more concerned is the use of these chemicals by the farmers. So unless the farmers use it judiciously, we will continue to see the final products in the market, especially fruits and vegetables which are eaten raw, to have rather excessive levels of some, chemicals which are harmful. So a lot of education is needed, and I agree with Mr. Agarwal that there is a lot of entry barrier for new companies, new molecules, etc. And the reason is that the existing players do everything in their power to prevent new entrants and new molecules from being introduced. And I also agree with him that the Central Insecticide Board and the Plant Protection Advisor need to be professionals. In fact, for about 2 years now, the post of Plant Protection Advisor is lying vacant, and an officer who is not a professional, who is not a technical person, is looking after that post. So he's right, it is very important for the government and for the industry and agriculture in general to get professionals in these positions who continue for a longer period of time, say at least 5 years, and who guide the safe use of these chemicals.
Well, thanks so much for joining us and taking us through that discussion. We'll leave it there for today. That's the latest on the agrochem space and the kind of reforms needed perhaps to give a further boost to the sector.